Ladies and gentlemen, big warm welcome please to your first guest this evening, Glenn.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can everybody hear me? I count this, cause, yeah, that's okay. Right. Right. In case you don't know what I do stand-up comedy and impressions. Some of the humour is a little bit out there, so if you're expecting political correct humour, I don't know why you're here, but there you go. So, I mean, I've never heard any woke jokes, so I don't know any woke jokes. I weren't aware woke people had a sense of humour. That's why I've tried to cancel comedy, isn't it? I mean, did you see last week that they're trying to, they actually cancelled Jerry Sadowitz. And I thought to myself, that's a shame because, okay, he's not everybody's cup of tea, but there you go. If he's not your cup of tea, try drinking coffee instead, that's what I tell them. But there you go, and it's a shame because, I mean, okay, he might have been a bit strong out there, but Frankie Boyle was at one time, but he's suddenly gone soft, hasn't he, in his sense of humour. So I also do impressions as well as humour, and so there's quite a few things about. I mean, next week we're looking forward to a new Prime Minister, so just because it's Boris's last week as Prime Minister, I thought I'll do an impression of him. So, well, yes, he does do sweet FA, doesn't he? So, yeah, I mean, but the other thing he got right was he started getting Brexit sorted, and just then there was this COVID stuff, weren't there, where originally they called it coronavirus, and all of a sudden they changed its name, didn't they? So, yeah, so unfortunately, just as he was doing that, it really hit the fan, didn't it? So, obviously I'm not going to make jokes about COVID, because, you know, I did do a mild joke about it, which I will do one mild joke about it. Bingo's going to be quite interesting now, isn't it? Because they go click 66. I'm looking for song 13. Number 1 killer's eye. COVID-19. And that's the only COVID joke I will do. So, you liked that one, did you? Well, so I'll do Boris Johnson now. Do you remember that time, this is going back about 2018, that Michael Gove and all that were talking about that in their younger days they did a bit of cocaine. Do you remember that? Well, I remember at the time, I just started out performing comedy at the time, and I did the impression of Boris Johnson. I says, well, can you imagine it, how he would have done it? You know, all the others are there snorting their cocaine, and he comes on, ooh. Well, that's him sneezing it all over the place. Well, there you go. So that puts a brand new in, so you can't see his eyes for dust, can you? In this case, white dust. And of course, he's just very lackadaisical, isn't he? You know, we all hear about them being clowns in parliaments, don't we? Well, of course, he's been the biggest clown in them all, hasn't he? Even when he was Mayor of London. Now they've got a bigger clown as Mayor of London. Anyway, Boris Johnson's here. Well, I've had a wonderful time with being a Prime Minister, especially Partygate. I mean, I've got fined a few times, but paying about 5 or 6 fines of £50, that's not much, isn't it? I'll just take it out of the taxpayers' money. And I just make sure that everything goes up, including the price of electricity. Mind you, the price of electricity's gone up now, isn't it? And the gas bills, because we've relied on foreign fuels, ironically enough, from Russia. So, I mean, now we're talking about fracking. I thought, well, fracking hell. That's basically what I was thinking. And that's pretty close to what I was thinking as well. And I thought to myself, well, why have we to rely on foreign companies for our electricity and all this stuff? What's wrong with us having our own things, you know? But we've got a load of these stupid windmills now, haven't we? For this green agenda that they've got. I mean, can you imagine that? Oh, look at that, Mummy, that's a big daisy, isn't it? It's going round and round. Yeah, you could just imagine that, can't you? So there's other impressions that I can do for you. I mean, I do a few from Star Wars, and I do 4 characters from there. So I've got the old Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Alec Guinness version. These are the droids you're looking for. So, leave it on. What do you think, Master Yoda? Sorted them out, you did, Obi-Wan. And of course, you've got the Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. Rise, Lord Vader. For Christmas, Luke Skywalker is having a PlayStation 5 and an Atchaman with retractable hands. I know this, for I felt his presence. Yeah? And of course, there's like you've all seen the film Goldfinger, haven't you? Where Sean Connery is laid there with a laser going between his legs, and he goes, "You expect me to talk, Goldfinger?" "No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die." Well, can you imagine the Looney Tunes version of this? Instead of Sean Connery, you got Bugs Bunny as James Bond, and Elmer Fudd as the Goldfinger character. In this case, Gold Carrot, because it's Bugs Bunny. So, it goes something like this. Me, you expect me to talk, Goldfinger, a Gold Carrot? No, Mr. Bunny Rabbit, I expect you to die. So there you go. And of course, do you remember Ken Dodd? There was a documentary about him just recently, wasn't there, on Channel 5. So here we go. Here's something that's you probably wouldn't hear Ken Dodd say, but he probably did, I don't know. But here we go. By Jove, Mrs. What a lovely day to go running up to the Kremlin and saying, "It's Lenin." So, there you go. And I have written down who I was going to do. Hang on. Right. Oh, E.T. Do you remember E.T.? E.T. felt home. But you do you remember back in the 80s that you had these vandalised phone boxes, didn't you? I can imagine how he came up one with a vandalised phone. He'd pick it up and ouch, oh, knackered. So, just seeing who else. Right, so remember Scooby-Doo? There you go, that's Scooby-Doo, yeah? Well, I do a few of the characters from there, so I've got Shaggy, Scooby, Scrappy-Doo, and Velma. So, here we go, Velma up first. Well, let's see who it is. Shaggy, shall we? Oh, yes, Scooby, are you there? Yes, I'm here. Let me at him. I'll sort him out, Uncle Scooby. I'll punch him, knock him out. Let's see who it is. Chris Eubank?
Yes, it's me. It's been me all along. So, I like to wear monocles so that I look sophisticated. And, you know, I used to be a boxer. So that's why I chose this boxing disguise. So, but as I can see that you've got Great Dane there. 2 Great Danes. One's bigger than the other, but there you go. So that's wonderful.
Time for me to wrap up, is it? Ah, well, here we go. You're in for a treat now. Arnold Schwarzenegger, paying for his goods. She says to him, how will you be paying, Mr. Schwarzenegger? He goes, as to be Visa, baby. Until next time, next week, I'll be back.
That was Glenn, ladies and gentlemen.